After I put the book villain wearing a cry author, Tree Lane copywriting, put into the book with the task of preventing the villain from being blackened in advance. Become abandoning the villain, kneeling and licking the protagonist's cannon fodder. Lu Yuan said, putting a word like him and being cold and glamorous can make the world economy paralyzed by the general villain, but ran to kneel and lick the little idol who didn't like him. The original owner's brain must be caught by the door. Fortunately, he came through. Then, Lu Yuan discovered, Gao Leng is just a shell for the boss to disguise himself, and the boss under the shell is sensitive to inferiority, lack of security, and loves to cry. As a member of the Virtual World Management Center, Lu Yuan has been to dozens of different worlds, and has been Emperor, Traitor, Demon Emperor, Demon King, Fairy Statue, Teacher, Student, Doctor, President, General. Never thought that one day he would play the role he once played as an actor in another new world. Watching the smoke on the internet, netizen my brother is acting as the Demon King. Netizen B, fuck, Ang, you honestly explain whether you were the head teacher of the high school before your debut. Netizen C, I'm in love. Is it too late to turn fans? Lu Yuan looked helpless, the children are still too young. However, the experienced he did not expect that one day he would apply to the organization to bring the people in the book back to the real world. Mind Clearance, 1. Main Attack 2. Break through the book and be reborn. 3. In the early stage of attacking favor, the latter favoring each other, the extreme attack control suggestions are not read, the comments will be deleted if they are too excessive, and writing guidance is not accepted. 4. I have attacked many worlds, but they are all cannon fodder. There is no CP, and the first CP to be attacked is the desire to survive. 5. Don't substitute real people without a prototype. 6. If you don't like it, please click, don't tell me, Xinjiang is so big, there is always one you like. One sentence brief, I am an actor and play myself. Content tag, Rich Family Entertainment Circle Sweet Wen Chuan Shu search keywords, Protagonist, Lu Yuan, Xiao Yangzi supporting role others, under the year. Saoan, are you okay? Fuck, Ang, what's the matter with you, why are you suddenly dizzy? It won't be nervous, ha 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 ha, but also, marry the richest man. Zhuang Feiyu, shut up, brethren, are you okay, do you want me to call the doctor? Lu Yuan held his temples and waited for a long time for the tingling in his mind to disappear before saying, no. His reaction just now was a normal reaction to other people, and it was useless to call a doctor. The vast universe, the world is divided into the main world and the virtual world. The main world is formed by the heavens and the earth, stable and eternal, and has existed for hundreds of billions or even longer years. Virtual worlds are created artificially, such as the world of novels, the world of comics. These worlds are very unstable due to many factors such as the creator's own experience, worldview, and writing skills. Very unstable. It collapsed accidentally and disappeared. Lu Yuan is a person in the main world. Because of hobbies and interests, I work in the Virtual World Management Center. My job is to go to the virtual world when the virtual world shows signs of collapse, solve the factors that caused the world to collapse, and restore the virtual world to normal operation. The world he is wearing now is the world of a novel. If the world is functioning normally, it should be the cannon fodder he wears who gave the richest man a cuckold and fell in love with the protagonist when he was married to the richest man in the world. He left the richest man because he heard someone say that the protagonist was injured when he was married. Run to see the protagonist suffer. The richest man is the richest man with a twisted heart and a perverted possessive desire for cannon fodder brother. Brother cannon fodder's escape from marriage directly angered the richest man. The richest man broke the cannon fodder family, imprisoned cannon fodder, and then frantically targeted the protagonist who was liked by cannon fodder. The protagonist is bullied, and the protagonist will definitely not stand by. In the end, he will become the richest man and the protagonist. Then the richest man was attacked and killed by the protagonist and died miserably. This is the normal direction of the world. But now, after Brother Cannon Fodder finished the matter, the richest man did not engage the Brother Cannon Fodder family or imprisoned Brother Cannon Fodder. He broke the world economy. Yes, you read that right. The richest man, alone, broke the world economy. This kind of thing that would never happen in the main world, he appeared alive in the virtual world. But no way. This is a virtual world. Absurd, but still existing facts. Then, countless people were unemployed, countless died, and the world collapsed. Now, the world has been restarted by them and returned to the wedding scene. Brother Cannon Fodder escaped before the marriage. His task is to dispel the richest comrade's desire to let the world bury him. This task seemed very simple to Lu Yuan. He didn't even want to come. After all, the richest man loves him and cannot extricate himself from it. As long as he does not escape the marriage at the wedding scene, given time, the richest man will no longer want to destroy the world. Waiting for the protagonist to grow up in a few years, even if he wants to destroy it, he will not have enough energy. Coincidentally, yesterday the department organized a team building. Except for the little girls on duty in the logistics department, everyone else in the company responded to the department's call to go skiing in the ski resort. The ski resort is relatively far away, and it will not come back at all for a while. The little girls in logistics are not qualified to enter the virtual world. Only when he came back from the previous world and didn't participate in the team building, plus he owed the minister a favor. Here comes. It's really not necessary, then, can you do it? Zhao Xian asked again, worryingly, watching him keep pressing his head. Zhuang Feiyu next to him also echoed, Angel, or call a doctor, you. No. Putting down his hands, Lu Yuan turned the boss's chair to Zhao Xian and the others, and asked, the wedding is about to begin. The wedding started at 11:58, and it is now 11:53, but the dressing room is a little far away from the auditorium. We have to go there at 11:55. Zhuang Feiyu and Zhao Xian have not said yet, they have been waiting. The staff in the corner spoke first. There are 2 minutes left, Lu Yuan said. I'm looking forward to seeing the male and female face in the book, the richest man with a face of iceberg cold all year round. Shaoan, time is almost up, let's go. 2 minutes later, the staff reminded. It is good. In response, Lu Yuan stood up and walked to the auditorium with Zhao Xian and Zhuang Feiyu under the leadership of the staff. At the entrance of the auditorium, Xiao Yangzi had arrived first. Seeing Lu Yuan walking with the staff, he pursed his lips, raised his foot and walked towards Lu Yuan subconsciously, but his life stopped when his feet fell. Afterwards, he tightened his lips and stood still watching Lu Yuan walking towards him step by step. The eyes are focused and fiery. Even the most incomprehensible person in the world knows that Xiao Yangzi looks at Lu Yuan in his eyes, knowing that he likes him. However, because of the distance, Lu Yuan did not immediately see Xiao Yangzi's eyes, but he saw Xiao Yangzi's appearance. Really as written in the book. Xiao Yangzi is very good looking, even more stunning under the dim lights in the corridor. A glance can be missed for life. Although Xiao Yangzi is male and female, his temperament is cold, and he doesn't feel feminine at all. On the contrary, it feels like a cold beauty and snake in the book. Describe it in 2 words, Lenjian. 4 words to describe, high, cold and beautiful. It is Lu Yuan who has been to the immortal realm, demon realm, demon realm. I have seen immortals, demons, and I have to say that Xiao Yangzi's looks are outstanding. Even if it doesn't rank first, it definitely ranks in the top 5. Lu Yuan couldn't figure it out. Xiao Yangzi is so good looking, still the richest man, and still loves him. Why does the original owner still cuckold him and love the protagonist? However, emotional matters sometimes cannot be explained by normal logic. Lu Yuan didn't get entangled. It was because of the distance that he walked in, he saw the fire in Xiao Yangzi's eyes, and was shocked. The real world has lived for 24 years, and the virtual world has lived for hundreds and thousands of years. Lu Yuan has never seen anyone see him like this. I was a little weird. Why so early? Lu Yuan asked Xiao Yangzi to suppress the discomfort in his heart. Xiao Yangzi opened her mouth, only to spit out one word coldly after a long time, yet. Lu Yuan. He knew why the original owner wanted to cuckold him. As for his icy character, if it weren't for seeing the fiery eyes under his eyes staring at him unblinkingly, Lu Yuan would have thought he had an opinion on him. Xiao Yangzi looked at Lu Yuan's eyes, not only Lu Yuan saw it. Zhao Xian also saw them. Zhao Xian, who eats a bite of dog food, doesn't know whether to ask Xiao Yangzi. Only Zhuang Feiyu spoke eagerly, unaware of the weird atmosphere at all, and when he saw Xiao Yangzi, he immediately asked respectfully, "Good Mr. Xiao." Xiao is always his idol. He is the richest man in the world at the age of 26. Hello. Hearing Zhuang Feiyu's voice, Xiao Yangzi finally realized that there were other people with Lu Yuan. He calmly retracted his fiery gaze and moved his gaze to Zhuang Feiyu and the others. At this time, and several staff members stopped beating, and they all started to say hello to Xiao Yangzi. Xiao Yangzi looked cold, but responded to them one by one with a good temper. After the greeting, Zhao Xian took Zhuang Feiyu into the auditorium from the side. When he entered the auditorium, Zhao Xian looked back at Lu Yuan and Xiao Yangzi at the entrance of the auditorium, and found that Xiao Yangzi was looking at Lu Yuan affectionately again. Zhao Xian. I think of the sunspots on the internet who are jumping every day to get Lu Yuan out of the entertainment circle. Zhao Xian smiled. If you let them know that the richest man they call their husbands and fathers every day likes. No, it's infatuation. How would it feel to be obsessed with Lu Yuan, who got out of the entertainment circle in their mouth? It must be wonderful. At that time, it must be another big melon that caused the server to crash. Xiao Yangzi and Lu Yuan didn't know what Zhao Xian was thinking. They and a few staff stood at the entrance of the auditorium, waiting for the wedding to begin. The music of "We Are Married" came out of the auditorium. The music of "We Are Married" came from the auditorium. Cheerful and romantic, "We got married today just like the one in the fairy tale Ups and Downs are by your side, love you forever and forever." Amidst the music, Lu Yuan heard the host's loud voice through the microphone, "Please invite us two handsome grooms." Immediately afterwards, the closed auditorium door was opened by the staff. Then Lu Yuan felt that his arm was touched, and turned his head to find that Xiao Yangzi was pressing his lips tightly and poking his hand under his arm. Seeing Lu Yuan looking over, his hands trembled, and his tight lips tightened. It took a long time before he said coldly, "I'm going to the red carpet." Lu Yuan. Lu Yuan understood what he meant. He raised his arm, let Xiao Yangzi's hand pass through smoothly, and took his arm. Whether it is the real world or the virtual world, this is Lu Yuan's first experience of getting married. Seeing the guests in the auditorium and their kind smiles, Lu Yuan suddenly became nervous. Immediately afterwards, Lu Yuan found that Xiao Yangzi was more nervous than him, and the hand holding his arm became clenched. Fortunately, his strength is not great, otherwise Lu Yuan's arm would be crushed by him. Seeing him so nervous, I don't know why, Lu Yuan suddenly became less nervous. He bent the corner of his mouth, stretched out his left hand and squeezed his hand gently. Xiao Yangzi was startled and looked at Lu Yuan in disbelief. The mouth is closed into a line. "Don't be nervous," Lu Yuan whispered as he approached him. "Yet." Xiao Yangzi responded softly, and the two walked onto the red carpet and walked to the center of the stage. "I don't know if it's the atmosphere or something. I heard Xiao Yangzi say, today, 5.21, in front of all the witnesses, Xiao Yangzi swears, no matter good or bad, rich or poor, health or sickness, happiness or sadness, I will always love Lu Yuan, cherish him, accompany him, and be loyal to him for life, until I die." At that time, Lu Yuan was moved. Under the atmosphere, the heart beats extremely fast. After a long time, Lu Yuan found his voice. Said the same oath as Xiao Yangzi. When kissing, Lu Yuan obviously felt that Xiao Yangzi was very happy. This kind of happiness lasted until the time when tea was served to the parents. Looking at the place where he sat in the high hall, only his parents sat, Lu Yuan remembered that Xiao Yangzi's mother was crazy, and his father was sent to prison by his own hands. There were also a dozen of his same fathers who went in with his father. Mother's siblings. After this incident, Xiao Yangzi's cruel reputation spread throughout the upper class. Everyone is particularly afraid of Xiao Yangzi. But only Lu Yuan knew that the reason why Xiao Yangzi was so ruthless was because his dad started off with his mother, but after he succeeded in his career, he derailed as a small 3, small 4, small 5 and brought people back home, and one of the small 3 took his sister. Pushing downstairs to death on the spot, his mother went crazy because of this. Not only did his father not hold the mistress responsible, but also took the person back to their hometown. The 8-year-old young master grew up overnight and planned for more than 10 years. Finally, when he was 24 years old, he joined his family to kill his dad and sent him to prison. In addition to a dozen of his father's illegitimate children, 7 were sent out of the country by Xiao Yangzi under the age of 10, and the rest were sent to psychiatric hospitals. Therefore, Xiao Yangzi is a real lonely man. Thinking about it, Lu Yuan reached out and took Xiao Yangzi's hand. This move not only surprised Xiao Yangzi, also shocked Lu Dad Lu Ma. They know how reluctant their son is for this wedding. Right, you. Mother Lu looked at Lu Yuan, and then at the hands the two held together, her words stopped. Mom, we will definitely live a good life in the future. Of course Lu Yuan knew what Lu Ma wanted to say, but he pretended not to know, and promised himself. Xiao Yangzi was enthusiastic about what Lu Yuan said, and followed Lu Yuan and said, Mom, what you said is right, we will definitely live a good life in the future. Good. The married couple said so, what else could she say? After Xiao Yangzi and Lu Yuan left, Dad Lu sullenly said in a low voice, Don't interfere with the children's affairs. When did I intervene? It's right and right. Xiao Yangzi is a nice kid, you will definitely like him after getting along for a long time, don't you think this is good today? Am I worried? Lu Yuan and Xiao Yangzi didn't know the worry of Lu Dad and Mother Lu. They went through the wedding process one by one. At the last toast, a 24-5-year-old young man suddenly crouched, and then said in a voice that everyone around could hear, Li Zun is injured and hospitalized. Lu Yuan's hand toasted. Yes, this is the sentence, the original owner ran away, and then Xiao Yangzi went black. Now if he doesn't run, Xiao Yangzi should not be blackened. As soon as I finished thinking about it, I saw Xiao Yangzi squatting on the ground while holding his head abruptly. Yangzi. Lu Yuan was startled, and quickly handed the wine glass in his hand to the best man next to him, knelt down and hugged Xiao Yangzi. The people around were also frightened by Xiao Yangzi's actions, and the old doctor who was attending the wedding was quickly called over. But as soon as he walked over, Xiao Yangzi released the hand holding his head. He looked around blankly, and finally fell his gaze on Lu Yuan who was holding him. Emil. Then he came out of Lu Yuan's arms calmly and said, I'm fine, go ahead. Lu Yuan's keen discovery. Xiao Yangzi became cold towards him and stopped looking at him. Even if he did, there was no trace of love in his eyes, cold. Even after the wedding, he even said to him, My company still has some things to deal with, you can go home by yourself. Then left him without waiting for him to speak. Then, Lu Yuan received a divorce agreement and a text message from the lawyer, I know you don't want to marry me. I have drawn up the divorce agreement. You can read it and sign it. Lu Yuan. The author has something to say, new book, please collect it. On the 56th floor of Hengan Building, Xiao Yangzi did not work. He is smoking. One by one, the smoking office is full of smoke. He couldn't feel it at all. I only felt ridiculous in my heart that he was born again. But he didn't want to live, it was boring. Apart from money, my family has no family, and friends have no friends. I finally waited until I got married with the person I liked. I thought I had a home. I didn't have to face the eternal black light when I went home after get off work. As a result, people escaped the marriage at the wedding scene. Turned him into a joke. In this way, he was born again. Although I don't know why Lu Yuan didn't leave him after hearing the news of Li Zun's injury in this life. But that is not important anymore. After he died, he discovered that he did not love Lu Yuan as much as he thought. Like before, probably because I was so lonely. And Lu Yuan appeared at the right time again, so he had the illusion that he liked him very much. Forget it, it doesn't matter anymore. As he was thinking, suddenly the smoke alarm above his head rang, pulling his mind back to reality. Xiao Yangzi. After extinguishing the smoke in his hand, Xiao Yangzi turned on the ventilation fan, walked over and sat on his boss chair. He picked up the phone on the table and looked at the time. At 19:38, he asked Han Boyang to take his divorce agreement to Lu Yuan to sign it. It should have arrived now. Thinking, Xiao Yangzi clicked on the phone and sent a text message to Lu Yuan. At the door of Lu Yuan's house. Lu Yuan glanced at the text message sent by Xiao Yangzi and put the phone in his trouser pocket. Then he took the divorce agreement handed over by Han Boyang, he smiled, flipped through it, and threw it on the shoe cabinet at the door, looking at Han Boyang. You said you want a divorce? Mr. Han, who did you see on the day of their wedding? Divorced? Not to mention Yangzi still loves me so much. He said that his face was not red and heartbeat, and he was particularly arrogant, which made Han Boyang suspect that he had heard it wrong, and boss did not say that he was going to divorce. After Lu Yuan finished speaking, regardless of Han Boyang's reaction, he quickly put on his jacket, put on his shoes, picked up the keys and mobile phone, and went out. I'm going to pick up Yangzi, Mr. Han, go home too, what's the matter? I will explain to him. With that said, Lu Yuan closed the door, walked over and pressed the elevator downstairs. Han Boyang. Han Boyang had already called Lu Yuan to talk to him. Therefore, Xiao Yangzi was not surprised when Lu Yuan knocked on the door of his office. He opened the door. Then I saw Lu Yuan, who had been dragging me with 250 in front of him in the past, looked at him, with a gentle expression in his eyes. Yangzi, are you finished? I'll pick you up from get off work. Xiao Yangzi. Get out of the way and let him in, without making any preparations, and asking bluntly, why not sign? On the way, Lu Yuan thought a lot about the reasons for Xiao Yangzi's divorce. I think the most likely thing is that Xiao Yangzi got out of the plot and knew what the original owner liked and pursued Li Zun. The essence of this matter is, Xiao Yangzi thinks he doesn't like him. Therefore, what he has to do is to convince Xiao Yangzi that he likes him, and his pursuit of Li Zun is to make him jealous and make him value him. But things shouldn't be too urgent, they have to be done step by step. Lu Yuan grabbed a smile on his face, looked at him, gritted his teeth and asked, can I know why? Or did I do something wrong? You will divorce me on the first day of marriage. Don't you like me? Xiao Yangzi said without emotion. Really? Lu Yu said with a heart, but said on his lips, is it because I didn't tell you like it before, that's why you think so? Well, Xiao Yangzi, listen now, I am Lu Yuan Xi Huan Yu, from a long time ago to now, you have always liked you, and only you. Xiao Yangzi didn't believe it. Lu Yuan said, I think you should have known about Li Zun. When he mentioned Li Zun, Xiao Yangzi's lips became a seam. Lu Yuan said, I can explain this matter. As he said, his face was not red and his heart beat Xiao Yangzi back and forth. Yangzi, do you know why I chased him? Xiao Yangzi would naturally not answer him. Lu Yuan didn't want him to return to him either. He looked at him and said word by word, Yangzi, do you think you are too cold to my wife? I don't know if you are cold because you like me and marry me, or simply marriage. I am now 24 years old, and I long for love. I hope you like me, but when I think that you married me because of marriage, I feel uncomfortable. So, I'm crazy and do something. I'm sorry for you. I chased someone else. I just wanted to see your reaction. I wanted to see if you liked me or married me because of a marriage. I want you to be jealous and want you to care about me. Yangzi, I'm sorry, I am too stupid and used the wrong method, but I really like you. I have liked you a long time ago. After speaking, Lu Yuan suddenly felt, he is scumbag. This passage is really true. He looks like a scumbag who has derailed and is still sophistry. Xiao Yangzi was silent and spoke for a long time, I will not marry. Hearing what he said, Lu Yuan was a little guilty, but still continued to scumbag, yes, you don't need a marriage, you are my favorite Yangzi, and you don't need a marriage at all. But at that time I got into the horns, I can't figure it out. I'm sorry. Hope, I've done so many things that hurt you, I'm not as good as a beast, I'm sorry. Xiao Yangzi. But Yangzi, I don't want to divorce you. The thought of divorcing you makes me feel uncomfortable. After that, Lu Yuan raised his head and looked at him shamelessly, let's not get divorced, okay? I really do. I like you very much. I know you like desserts, and I went to learn them. Will I make them for you in the future? Naturally, he did not specialize. It was a world he had been to, and his profession was a pastry chef. Xiao Yangzi's pupils shrank suddenly when he heard the word dessert. He likes desserts. But few people know that Lu Yuan. Xiao Yangzi was a little confused. Is that true? Lu Yuan, who left him at the wedding scene in the previous life, embarrassed him, and made him lose face in front of the world. The one in front of me knew that he liked desserts, so he went to learn how to make desserts, Lu Yuan. Is that true? The previous words are too much to stand up to scrutiny, Lu Yuan is afraid of revealing things. After speaking, I immediately changed the subject, I just don't have notice these days. From tomorrow on, I will deliver you food at noon and pick you up from work at night, okay? Then we will eat together, or if you like pets, we can also raise them. A dog or a cat, we can walk the dog and play with the cat after dinner. On Saturdays and Sundays, when you rest, let's go outside. Haven't you had a good time in Laokhung? I will accompany you later. No matter it's Lai City or anywhere else, I will accompany you as long as you want to go, and accompany you to wherever you want to go. Lu Yuan remembered that Xiao Yangzi had been preparing for the overthrow of his dad before he was 24 years old. After he was 24, he had been busy with work and had never had a good time. Xiao Yangzi opened his mouth. Lu Yuan walked over and hugged him, if you don't get divorced, okay, Yangzi, I don't want a divorce, I don't want to be separated from you, I have liked you for so many years, and finally when I am married to you, how could I agree to divorce? Anyway, I don't agree. I won't agree with anything you say. I'm relying on you. Don't want to leave me to find someone else. I didn't want to find anyone. But I didn't want to be with you either. Xiao Yangzi pushed him away. I know you like me too. Lu Yuan was particularly shameless and robbed him, as if the person being pushed away was not him. Then Yangzi, let's say we won't get divorced. We won't be allowed to talk about divorce anymore. After that, Lu Yuan remembered that Xiao Yangzi was always entangled by Ying Ying and Yan Yan because he was rich and good-looking, and he didn't like it himself, and said, in fact, it's not bad to think about marrying me, at least before. Your Ying Ying and Yan Yans know that we won't pester you again after we get married, right? Ying Ying Yan Yan is indeed a headache. Just thinking about it, his stomach rang suddenly. Lu Yuan heard it, and he smiled and said, I have been busy before eating, and I am also a little hungry. I know a very good private restaurant. I will take you there. After speaking, he pulled Xiao Yangzi downstairs. Open the purplish-red sports car of the original owner and stuff people in. Go, I'll take you to eat delicious food. Xiao Yangzi loves spicy food, and the private restaurant Lu Yuan said focuses on Sichuan cuisine, especially spicy fish and husband and wife lung slices. It has been mentioned many times in the book that Lu Yuan has an unforgettable ability, so he will naturally remember it. However, he still respected Xiao Yangzi's choice and did not make a decision for Xiao Yangzi, but handed him the menu. Look, what do you like to eat? Xiao Yangzi ordered spicy fish and 2 other dishes. But he didn't order a couple's lungs. Lu Yuan made up. In addition to the husband and wife's lung slices, Lu Yuan also ordered a sour radish and old duck soup. Solution greasy. After the waiter left, Lu Yuan took the menu and looked at Xiao Yangzi with a smile and asked, Yangzi, do you know why the husband and wife lung tablets are called husband and wife lung tablets? No. Lu Yuan was taken aback, and he didn't even mean that Xiao Yangzi knew about it. He smiled and said, yes, I also just learned about it not long ago. It is said that there is a couple in Chu area. They make a living by selling lung tablets. They make lung tablets. The price is cheap and delicious. Coupled with the fact that their husband and wife are still in love with each other after the wind and rain, many people order their lung slices, and slowly their lung slices become famous, and many young couples travel thousands of miles to eat. The lungs of their family hope that they can live in the wind and rain, the test of time, and love each other for a lifetime. Xiao Yangzi. After speaking, Lu Yuan immediately changed the subject and did not mention the couple's lung film. As if he just said casually. Probably these dishes are really in line with Xiao Yangzi's appetite, plus she is really hungry without eating for a day. Xiao Yangzi ate a lot. When returning, Lu Yuan did not consult Xiao Yangzi again, and directly drew the person back to his own home. When I got home, I remembered, his house is a bedroom. Xiao Yangzi did not want to sleep with him. Finally, because Lu Yuan was not at work, she slept on the sofa. The next day, Xiao Yangzi went to work, and Lu Yuan woke up and went to the car dealership. He planned to change the color of his sports car, which was dyed in purple by the original owner. Too garish. After getting out of the car shop, Lu Yuan thought for a while and went to the barber shop again. He found a teacher Tony and dyed the yellow hair on his head black. Then he went home to cook lunch and took him to Xiao Yangzi's company. He is going to have lunch with Xiao Yangzi. Cultivate feelings. Xiao Yangzi's company was open to him. As soon as Lu Yuan entered the front desk, the little girl greeted him diligently, "Good Xiao An." He also bowed greatly. Lu Yuan was taken aback, then smiled and said, "Hello." Lu Yuan's good-looking, in many worlds he's been to, he was rated as the top 4/7/top 10 handsome guys/beautiful men to testify. The little girl blushed instantly when she saw Lu Yuan smile. Dizzy, she didn't react until Lu Yuan took the president's elevator upstairs. Secretly scolded fuck, then he rushed to the back of the reception desk in a thunderous manner, took out his mobile phone, and spoke in the company's little sister group. Xiao Qiao wants to eat fried chicken, 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 Xiao Qiao wants to eat fried chicken. Out of the elevator, Lu Yuan arrived at Xiao Yangzi's office unimpeded. When passing by the secretariat, the beauties of the secretariat stood up and greeted him enthusiastically. The enthusiastic Lu Yuan was a little surprised. However, he has been to many worlds and is used to big scenes. He calmed down quickly and nodded to them. Then knocked on Xiao Yangzi's door. Inside the door, Xiao Yangzi's cold but unexpectedly pleasant voice came, "Enter." "Why are you here?" Seeing Lu Yuan, Xiao Yangzi pursed her lips, and his eyes fell on Lu Yuan's head. Are you handsome? Lu Yuan asked shamelessly, looking at him. Also put a wink. Xiao Yangzi. Lu Yuan laughed, put the lunch box on the coffee table, I'll bring you food. Walked over and walked to Xiao Yangzi's desk. Eat first. Xiao Yangzi feels a little complicated, thank you. Lu Yuan reached out and pulled him up from the chair. Eat first, and then work after dinner. I'm going to wash my hands. Since it was delivered, Xiao Yangzi was not hypocritical. He took his hand out of Lu Yuan, went to the bathroom in the lounge to wash his hands, and then came out. Outside, Lu Yuan had already put the food he brought on the coffee table. 4 dishes and 1 soup. After Xiao Yangzi came out, he saw 2 pairs of bowls and chopsticks on the table. After a meal, he looked at Lu Yuan. Lu Yuan explained, I want to have dinner with you. Xiao Yangzi walked over and picked up his bowl with a sound of and started eating. Xiao Yangzi's mind was messed up when he ate Lu Yuan's food for the first time in his past and present life. I didn't taste anything. Although his brain is messy, his actions are regular, coupled with his good-looking appearance, and his posture for holding chopsticks is also standard, which is very pleasing to the eye. Lu Yuan caught a glimpse of her accidentally, and then she was stunned. Xiao Yangzi couldn't help but exclaimed that Xiao Yangzi was really educated and really good-looking. The original owner must have been kicked by a donkey. Cough, cough, cough. I was sighing, when I suddenly heard Xiao Yangzi's cough, one after another, as if he was about to cough up his lungs. Lu Yuan was startled, and quickly stood up and patted him on his back. After Xiao Yangzi didn't cough too much, he let go of him, then took him a glass of water and asked, What's the matter? Xiao Yangzi coughed red, and when he heard Lu Yuan's words, he gave him a fierce look. It's okay. Look at what I do. Xiao Yangzi's angry face turned blue. He was eating well, and when he was picking up the food, Yu Guang caught a glimpse of Lu Yuan looking at him unblinkingly with open eyes. He happened to eat a piece of chili. Just choked. Seeing him staring at him with red eyes, the weirdness in Lu Yuan's heart appeared again. This weirdness made him stop asking Xiao Yangzi anymore, but silently put the water glass in front of him. Xiao Yangzi was choking and spicy. Seeing the water, he immediately picked it up and took a sip. After stopping, he wiped away the tears from the corners of his eyes. Stop eating, just get up and go to work. Have you eaten? Lu Yuan asked, seeing him not eating anymore. Stop eating. Pissed off. Lu Yuan took a few more bites. Just finished eating, ready to pack the dishes, the phone rang, took it out to see, it was his mother. Line connected. Hey, Mom, what's the matter? Are you up? Mother Lu asked. Mom is a little too late, and your question is too deep, I don't know how to answer it. Get up. It's fine when you wake up. You can discuss it with Yangzi and come home for dinner if you have time tonight. At night. Lu Yuan said, looking up at Xiao Yangzi, who is not working. He leaned back on the boss chair, squinting, calmly. Yes. Lu Ma said. I asked him. Yangzi, Mom said let us go to dinner at night, do you have time? Xiao Yangzi, yes. That's good. Mom, Yangzi said that we are free tonight and we will come over tonight. Are you together? Mother Lu vent sip, did Yangzi not go to work? Although her son is an actor, but 3 days of fishing and 2 days of surfing the net, Xiao Yangzi is different. It is said that he is at work every day, 365 days, 365 days a year. Come on, I'm in his company. Lu Yuan always felt that there was something in his mother's words, and he didn't know if he thought too much. But Lu Ma didn't give him time to think. She gave him a okay and said, right, there is something my mother wants to tell you. Now that you are married to Yangzi, your previous messy things will be cut off. Now, Live well with Yangzi. Both my father and I think Yangzi's child is good. As well as your work, let Zozo pay the penalty for you and terminate the contract. If you really want to act, sign in. Zhao Xian's company, or opening a studio, is fine. You can't go to the small broken company before. In case Xiao Yangzi gets angry. Lu Yuan thought for a while, and felt that what his mother said was reasonable. Okay, I can just terminate the contract by myself. It's okay. Mother Lu said, after she finished speaking, she said earnestly, right, Yangzi is no better than the little star you like. If you dare to do things that are sorry for him, with Yangzi's temper, I don't want to talk about you. Home is not going to end, you must never contact that little star again. The fact that Xiao Yangzi sent his father and a dozen half-brothers and sisters to prison is well known to the upper class. Everyone was very jealous of him, including his parents. I know you can rest assured. Lu Yuan said. He originally came to appease Xiao Yangzi, so naturally he would not do such things. Later, Mother Lu told something more, and Lu Yuan agreed one by one. After hanging up the phone, Lu Yuan went out. Xiao Yangzi saw him come out and said, I want to rest. You go back. Ji said with a huh and pointed to the lounge, you go to rest. After speaking, after thinking about it, he said, I want to rest too. I think your lounge has a bed and a sofa. Let me sleep on the sofa. Xiao Yangzi. Because Lu Yuan insisted, Xiao Yangzi finally compromised. Let him sleep on the sofa. Lu Yuan was woken up by the phone. When he woke up, Xiao Yangzi had already woke up to work, touched the phone from the coffee table and took a look. Note, Xiao He. This name. Lu Yuan thought for a while, remembering that this person was the assistant of the protagonist Sui Lazuan, and the original owner bought him and asked him to pass him the news of Lazuan. Lu Yuan, in order to get the protagonist's acceptance, the original owner really took great pains. Fortunately, he took this opportunity to talk to Xiao He and told him not to tell him about Lazuan in the future. Line connected. Xiao He's anxious voice came immediately on the other end of the phone. Brotherin, what's the matter with you today? Why didn't you answer me when I sent you so many WeChat? I didn't see it. I didn't see it, I just said. Xiao He murmured, well, Brother Ang, Brother Le was injured and hospitalized yesterday. After finishing speaking, he said with a strong desire to survive, I wanted to tell you, but Brother Le was always there, no chance, and then it was too late. I was afraid that you fell asleep and sent you a WeChat message. You didn't reply to me. Brother Le is now in Hungin Hospital, do you want to come over? Hengan Hospital. Isn't that Xiao Yangzi's hospital? I remembered that the original owner of the book left Xiao Yangzi at the wedding scene to see Le Zuan, and he went to the hospital where Xiao Yangzi lived. Lu Yuan instantly felt that Xiao Yangzi was really miserable. Zia He. Lu Yuan said with a serious voice, our contract ends today, and you won't have to pass me Lazuan news in the future. Angel, what happened? Zia He was surprised, a little excited, or did I do something wrong? Lu Yuan gave a lot of money, and he didn't want to lose this money. Nothing happened, and you didn't do anything wrong. Lu Yuan said, Xiao He, this thing ends here, and I will send you a sum of money later. You will treat this thing as never happened in the future. Brother Ang. Xiao He wanted to say something. Hearing Lu Yuan's gentle but indisputable tone on the phone, he finally stopped and changed his words, okay, I get it. Hearing Xiao He's promise, Lu Yuan smiled, okay, I believe you will keep your mouth open. I know, I will. After hanging up the phone, Lu Yuan went out. Xiao Yangzi was working. Seeing him come out, he took a look, then ignored him and continued to work. Yangzi, I'm going to pick up a cup of coffee, would you like it? Polysaccharides, thank you. Xiao Yangzi answered without raising his eyes. Yet, Lu Yuan went out to the pantry and just heard the two women chatting. I also think boss is very poor. Yet, I said, he was so kind to that guy, he wanted to spoil him, but he didn't care at all. He fought CP with Lazun outside every day, and he ended up in real life. Hearing this, Lu Yuan's eyes went dark. A real person ends up? How come I don't know? It was just picked up yesterday. The Upmaster Yuanal who is famous for cutting the two videos of them is him. He was still on the hot search, but he was ripped off after a few minutes on the hot search. Let me see. I'll send you the link. Grass, this person is too special, I love boss, oh, I will work hard in the future. Cough cough cough. Lu Yuan interrupted them aloud. Apart from boss, assistant he, and Lu Yuan who came to visit today on this floor, all of them were women. Hearing a man's cough, the two of them trembled and hurriedly opened the door. Seeing that it was Lu Yuan, the expressions of the two changed. The voice trembled, and shao. On weekdays, they didn't say bad things about him, Lu Yuan tossed them back and forth, as long as they didn't agree with him a little bit, he whispered to the boss and fired them. Now they talked bad about him and they were heard, despair. It seems that they can pack their things when they go back. Ready to resign, give yourself some face. Thinking that they were about to be fired, the two of them became hardened in an instant, and were not polite to Lu Yuan. Among them, the beautiful woman in white professional clothes and hot with big waves sneered, and smashed the water cup onto the table. Looked at Lu Yuan, I'm going to be fired anyway, I have nothing to fear. Lu Yuan, we are right, that up owner is you? Do you know the biggest difference between humans and animals? In addition to instinct, people have moral, reason, conscience and responsibility. What about you? Boss is so good to you, because your words removed Mr. Su, who had been with him for 7 years, from the headquarters. After Mr. Su left, boss went to work at 8 o'clock every day until early morning, 365 days a year. Endless. It can be seen that she is very angry with Lu Yuan, but she does not blame Xiao Yangzi for moving away from the CEO Su. What about you? You take what he earned from his life, buy yachts, buy airplanes, and you also raise a little boy. Lu Yuan, you are really worse than a beast. Sister Qing, don't insult the beast. The beautiful woman with a round face and short hair gave Lu Yuan a vicious look after the beautiful woman said. Lu Yuan. Since it was worn on the original owner made these evils, he can only carry it on his back. Before the big wave was about to start to scold again, Lu Yuan said quickly, I won't fire you, you can rest assured to go to work, and in the future, don't speak ill of others behind your back. Although the original owner has committed evil, he should be scolded. But he didn't want to listen. And these two are also for Xiao Yangzi's good, and he has no reason to let Xiao Yangzi dismiss them. The beauty of the big wave. Short-haired beauty. The two looked at each other, both with a dumbfounded look. Although Lu Yuan was asshole, but his words still counted, saying that they would not be fired would basically not fire them. But they all scolded him like that, but he. Does this guy have the trembling attribute? He treats boss so badly because the boss treats him so well? Discord with his attributes? It must be so. It seems that they have to remind the boss another day not to treat Lu Yuan too kindly. Lu Yuan didn't know how big a hole he had dug for himself. Seeing the two people blocking the door, they asked, I want to pick up coffee for your boss, are you okay? The two looked at Lu Yuan, then at each other, and finally said, no. They left quickly. Back on the seat, the short-haired beauty took out her mobile phone and sent a message in the small group. I want to work in September. Lu Yuan didn't know at all, he had already been whiplashed somewhere. He took the coffee and put sugar in Xiao Yangzi. Back to Xiao Yangzi's office with coffee. In Xiao Yangzi's office, a bald middle-aged uncle was reporting to work. He stopped when he saw Lu Yuan. Lu Yuan put the coffee next to Xiao Yangzi and pointed to the lounge. I will go inside. Then went into the lounge. After 4 o'clock, Lu Yuan went to the supermarket outside to buy some supplements. He went home empty-handed, but it was not good for Xiao Yangzi to go to his house for the first time after getting married. When the things were bought back, Xiao Yangzi told him, I asked assistant he to buy them. Lu Yuan. Looking at the carnations and cosmetics on the back seat of the car, his father's Yuqian Longjing, and his brother's red wine. Lu Yuan was stunned. His mother loves beauty, his father loves tea, and his brother loves wine. These things. Xiao Yangzi really used his heart, unlike his supplements. The perfunctory is too obvious. Turning his face, Lu Yuan looked at Xiao Yangzi and said, Yangzi, thank you. Thank you so much. This person looks cold, but actually, very good. Especially good. The original owner's mind really got into shit. Xiao Yangzi didn't speak, he bent over and sat in the driving seat. Lu Yuan also followed the co-pilot. Xiao Yangzi started the car and the two went to the old house of the Lu family. On the way, Lu Yuan transferred a sum of money to Xiao He and told him again, Xiao He, you know and I know about this, I don't want a third person to know. After receiving Xiao He's reply, Brethren, I know, don't worry, I will not tell others, Lu Yuan landed on Station B. It was originally intended to log off directly. But thinking of what the two women from Xiao Yangzi's company said, things have been posted online. Lu Yuan decided to take a look at the original video first to determine what happened. At that time, let Zhao Xian help deal with the remaining news. After seeing that Xiao Yangzi was driving seriously, Lu Yuan turned off the sound of the mobile phone and turned on Yuya's main business. Open the Creative Center. Of the 32 videos, 27 belonged to him and Li Zuan, and the remaining 5 belonged to Li Zuan alone. Lu Yuan. Another one was kissed by 2 people, and the posture was distorted. Lu Yuan shook his hand and clicked directly. There was a chill in my heart, and then I found, no sound. He breathed a sigh of relief and forgot that he had turned off the sound before. Fortunately. There is a feeling of peeking at the little in front of people. Guilty conscience. After a quick glance at Xiao Yangzi, Lu Yuan stared at the video for a few seconds. I always feel that this kiss is unlikely. After all, Li Zuan is the protagonist, and the protagonist attacking Zhang Hyuk is a domineering person. Li Zuan's kiss only belongs to Zhang Hyuk. He is a cannon fodder, and he is not qualified to kiss Li Quan. Sure enough, after a few more glances, Lu Yuan found out, the faces of both people are up. The original owner is really a talent. Just thinking about it, Lu Yuan realized that Xiao Yangzi glanced in his direction. I just saw he and Li Zuan kissing. I don't know if it's a psychological effect or something. Lu Yuan instantly felt that the temperature in the car was a few degrees lower, and hurriedly explained with a strong desire to survive, Yangzi, listen to me to explain, this is not true, this is a fan cut. I will contact the owner of Up now and let him delete it. Xiao Yangzi didn't speak for a long time. Just when Lu Yuan thought he had touched Xiao Yangzi, he suddenly said, isn't the Up master you? Lu Yuan. Xiao Yangzi said so, it seems to be certain. It makes no sense for him to struggle anymore, and he simply apologizes directly, I'm sorry, I was so obsessed before. He immediately promised, I promise, I will only cut videos with you in the future. No. Xiao Yangzi said. To his house. Because Xiao Yangzi left work early, when the two arrived, his father and his brother hadn't come back. Only his mother and a few servants were in the house. Seeing the two, Lu Ma's face instantly piled up with a smile. This smile became the biggest when Xiao Yangzi handed the flowers to her and said, Mom, for you. His mother greeted Xiao Yangzi with a chill. It seems that Xiao Yangzi is his son. He sent it for the phone bill. However, Lu Yuan was happy to comment on such a scene, so he did not interrupt them. Carrying things, followed them into the living room. Lu Yuan thought that they would be done after they asked about the warmth. Who knew they had a better chat after entering the living room? Actually, it's mainly his mother talking. Xiao Yangzi speaks few words, but he is a good listener. No one in their family listened to his mother's talk, and when he saw Xiao Yangzi listening, his mother's spirits instantly lifted up, and the conversation was endless. Lu Yuan had a toothache watching from the side. Especially the two people were talking about him. No, it should be the original owner. His mother said a lot about the original owner. Of course, in order to make a good impression on Xiao Yangzi, all are good things. Xiao Yangzi listened quietly and echoed for a long time, not knowing whether he liked it or hated it. His mother didn't stop until his father came back. Lu Yuan thought Xiao Yangzi was going to be free at last. Then I found out that he was thinking too much. His father took Xiao Yangzi to talk about investment. Lu Yuan. I feel like a little cabbage. It's the father who doesn't love his mother. This kind of thinking reached its peak when his brother Lu Yuxi returned home, because Lu Yuxi also leaned in to listen to his dad and Xiao Yangzi talk about investment. Until Aunt Ning made a meal, his mother called to eat. 3 people stopped. Then, Lu Yuan heard Lu Yuxi say, "Hey, when did you sit here?" Lu Yuan. After completing the task of eating, Lu Yuan thought they could go back, but as soon as he stood up, he was yelled by his mother, "Come here, right? What's the matter? Big Fat, go with you." Lu Yuan pushed up with his feet to arch his dog. "Why are you kicking it? Big Fatty, come over." His mother was upset when he saw Lu Yuan's actions, so he scolded Lu Yuan and picked up Fatty and went upstairs. Lu Doi followed his mother to the 3rd floor step by step, and then Lu Yuan saw his mother pushed open the door of the original owner's room. Lu Yuan followed up. The room is fairly tidy. It can be seen to be cleaned up frequently, but the decoration inside is really spicy. Leopard print sofa, leopard print bed sheets, leopard print quilt. Lu Yuan, the original owner's taste is really. Fortunately, he doesn't live here. Otherwise, I will have nightmares at night. Even if you don't have nightmares, you will vomit blood when you see this decoration. Not only Lu Yuan, but his mother was also very disgusted. The moment he saw the bed sheet was covered, his brows were frowning and flies were caught. But obviously she had already cultivated, and she quickly shifted her gaze, looked at Lu Yuan, did not sit down, and asked directly, "You and Yangzi? We are fine." Lu Yuan said. "It's fine." His mother nodded, licking the big fat dog's hair. "You haven't contacted that little star anymore, right? She is most worried about this. By marrying Xiao Yangzi, their family will get a lot of benefits, but they also take great risks. Xiao Yangzi's personality is clear. Enmity will never let go. If his son does something that is sorry for Xiao Yangzi, let alone Lu Yuan himself, their family will be over. Although Xiao Yangzi is young, he has very good skills in shopping malls." "No. He only told at noon and forgot to ask." "It's fine if you don't have it." Mother Lu breathed a sigh of relief. "Don't contact me anymore. Yangzi's kid is good and likes you too. He will definitely be good to you." It was Xiao Yangzi who initiated the marriage proposal. At that time, there was a problem with their family's capital chain. Xiao Yangzi helped and later gave them many projects. They saw him sincerely, and Lu Yuan didn't like the little star at the time, so he agreed with him and agreed. Who knows? So many things were discovered later. Mother Lu sighed. Lu Yuan didn't know what she was thinking. "I just think his tone is too much like the old mother who married her daughter on the wedding day." But he didn't say anything, only said, "I know. It's fine if you know." His mother said, and after finishing speaking, he said, "Okay, let's go down if nothing is wrong." Opened the door and went downstairs. Lu Yuan followed. Downstairs, Lu Yuan found that his father and brother were still pestering Xiao Yangzi to discuss investment matters. Lu Yuan. His dad and his brother really don't miss a chance. However, Xiao Yangzi is indeed very talented in investment. Although their family was also rich before, it is Xiao Yangzi's own credit to become the richest man. I heard that it would cost tens of millions to see Xiao Yangzi on the internet. Lu Yuan instantly felt that he had saved a lot of his father and brother. Then can he ask them for some money? Because he discovered that the original owner was actually a poor man. Speaking of this, Lu Yuan remembered the dramas that the original owner had cast incognito to Lizun through Zhao Xian's company. Ah, the brain hurts. The original owner's show operation is really everywhere. Tomorrow he has to be rational, and cut off everything that should and can be broken. How are you? Xiao Yangzi looked up when Lu Yuan came down. Don't know if it was an illusion or something, Lu Yuan saw the words he is leaving on his iceberg face. He smiled and asked him, well, you are all done? Do you want to go back? After speaking, he was afraid that his father and his brother would not finish talking, and then said, it's very late today. You can talk about investment when you meet another day. It's not that the family can't see it above. His father and his brother raised his hand and looked at the time. 2019. This is late? The two people's dissatisfaction with him was about to overflow, especially his dad, who gave him a harsh look. But given that Xiao Yangzi was here, he didn't say anything about him. Finally, Lu Yuan successfully took Xiao Yangzi away from his parents' house. After getting on the car, Xiao Yangzi turned into a saw-mouthed gourd again. In order to enliven the atmosphere, Lu Yuan said on the internet that it would cost tens of millions to meet Xiao Yangzi. I thought it was a joke, but who knew Xiao Yangzi actually said, yes. Lu Yuan. Really? So, I told your dad and your brother tonight for an hour and a half. One person is 10 million in an hour, and they are 30 million in an hour and a half. A 20% discount, 24 million, and 25 million. A million will do. Go back and remember to punch me. Xiao Yangzi said seriously. Lu Yuan said that this joke is too cold. If you don't have any money, you can give it to someone. Xiao Yangzi, ugly rejection. Lu Yuan, refuse to be ugly. The author has something to say, I strive to update at 9 o'clock in the evening. Because Xiao Yangzi's villa is too big and deserted, Lu Yuan on the road suggested that he still go to his house. I still sleep on the sofa, you sleep on the bed, tomorrow I will ask the decoration company to change the workshop into a bedroom. Go to Qingjiang Shui Yuan. Xiao Yangzi closed his eyes to rest up, and said when he heard Lu Yuan's words. Okay. There is my house in Qingjiang Water Garden. Xiao Yan is cherish the words like gold. Qingjiang Water Garden is not far from where Xiao Yangzi works, but, I remember that the community was developed by your company. There are 8 buildings in total. But because it is too expensive, it has not sold out yet. Yet? Xiao Yangzi replied. Looking at Xiao Yangzi's cold face, Lu Yuan really wondered, since he has a house in Qingjiang Water Garden, why not live in Qingjiang Water Garden, which is close to the company, but live in his big villa? Others live in large villas, and there are a lot of servants and bodyguards for enjoyment. What about him? There was not a single gasp in the villa except him. I also spend 2 hours on the way to work every day. I don't know what to think in my head. Because when I went to Qingjiang Water Garden and passed the mall on the way, Lu Yuan went in and bought him 2 sets of clothes. Jeans, thin sweaters. After thinking about it, I gave Xiao Yangzi the same size one smaller. I don't want it, I have clothes to wear. Xiao Yangzi's suit and trousers had always been worn, but when he saw the jeans and sweater Lu Yuan had given him, he was very resistant. Try it, you must look good in dress. Lu Yuan gestured to him. Xiao Yangzi is good looking, with a height of 1.78 meters. Although not tall, he is in good shape. The sweater and jeans look very young. Although he is really not big. Only 26 years old. But because he wears a suit all the year round, he has a cold face and looks a little mature. Lu Yuan persuaded him, and the shopping guides were even more skillful, boasting that Xiao Yangzi is the only one in the sky and there is no more. Finally, Xiao Yangzi compromised. Put on jeans and sweaters of the same style as Lu Yuan. I have to say that Xiao Yangzi is really a clothes rack. This jeans and sweater are really good looking when worn on his body. Lu Yuan looked at him with a smile, with gentle eyes, it looks good. The shopping guide is even more exaggerated and exaggerated. Sir, you are really wearing this outfit, it looks good. It's the first time I saw someone wearing this outfit looks so good looking, even better than the model. Looking handsome. She actually wanted to say it was too cute. Gentle offensive with high value appearance, cold and beautiful. Poke her cute spots. But this kind of feeling, based on her experience of reading thousands of Tanmei novels, doesn't like being called cute. It's pretty handsome. Hearing the shopping guide's exaggerated praise, Lu Yuan gave her a good praise look, smiled and looked up and down Xiao Yangzi. I will buy a pair of white shoes and put them on later, it will be perfect. Hearing what Lu Yuan said, Xiao Yangzi lowered his head to look at his leather shoes. It does not go well with jeans. While watching, I suddenly heard someone shouting, an an. Xiao Yangzi looked up, and Lu Yuan turned around. It's Lu Yuan's agent. He asked, do you know that Lu Yuan is in hospital? Lu Yuan. Quickly look at Xiao Yangzi. Xiao Yangzi looked at Ren Jianzhong blankly, without any emotion. Lu Yuan turned his attention to Ren Jianzhong again, and ignored his words about Li Zuan, but asked others, Brother Ren, are you and sister-in-law also coming over to buy clothes? Ren Jianzhong glanced at Xiao Yangzi, who has a strong sense of existence. This person seems to be the new richest man. Then he looked up at the sign of CNK flagship store where they were standing, and smiled and said, you guys, I can't afford CNK clothes. Ren Jianzhang's subordinates, besides Lu Yuan, who played fish for 3 days and spent 2 days on the net, there are also 3 artists. A Kwasa Fierce Line Li Quan. There are also 2 girls, a second tier, and a newcomer who just debuted. Although the newcomer hasn't made any money yet, the other 2 have already made a lot of money for him. Ren Jianzhong is not bad for money. Hearing what he said, his wife smiled next to him and said, I was dragged to go shopping. Your relationship is really good, it's really enviable. After that, Lu Yuan raised his head and glanced at Xiao Yangzi. Xiao Yangzi also happened to look at him, and when he saw him looking over, he looked away blankly. Lu Yuan. What do you envy? Ren Jianzhang's wife is a 30-year-old woman. She doesn't look good, she is slightly fat, but she feels very comfortable, you are still young and in no hurry. Sooner or later, you will meet someone you like. Although Lu Yuan is not far from Xiao Yangzi. But they never thought of going together. It was Lu Yuan who stretched out his hand to pull Xiao Yangzi over, and then explained to them, I have met someone I like. As the agent and his wife looked surprised, Lu Yuan calmly said, Brother Ren, sister-in-law. Let me introduce to you, this is my boyfriend. From the moment he told Xiao Yangzi that he liked him, Lu Yuan didn't want to hide Xiao Yangzi. Because he thought Xiao Yangzi would like it. Even if he will enter the entertainment circle in the future. Ren Jianzhong, Lu Yuan, you are an artist. Also, don't you like Lu Zuan? He clearly remembered that Lu Yuan bought things to please Lu Zuan the day before yesterday, why did he? I know. Lu Yuan said, so I hope that my sister-in-law will help us keep it secret. No? Do you still know? Do you still want to be in the entertainment circle when you are in love? In fact, he felt a little distressed for this cold-faced brother. He remembers Lu Yuan was still pleasing Lu Zuan the day before yesterday. Today, He used to think that Lu Yuan was affectionate, and planned to sell his affectionate personality. But Lu Yuan refused. Now it seems that he is full of self-knowledge. This is affectionate, this is simply scum. Just pity this little brother. The flower of jailing, which is in order, meets scum, hey. I don't know if he wants to enter the entertainment circle. This look is absolutely red if you want to enter the entertainment circle. As Ren Jianzhong was thinking about it, he heard the cold-faced brother in his mouth say, "Hello, my name is Xiao Yangzi." "What, Xiao, what's your name?" Ren Jianzhong was shocked. Not only him, but his wife's reaction was even more exaggerated, and her eyes turned into copper bells. "You heard it right, it's Xiao Yangzi." Before Lu Yuan was afraid that he was unhappy when he said the name Xiao Yangzi, he didn't say it. Now that Xiao Yangzi said it by himself, there is nothing left. Xiao Yangzi. Ren Jianzhong was still shocked. Xiao Yangzi only became the richest man this year. Because of the title of the youngest and richest man, his social reputation is very high, higher than 99% of the stars, and 110 million Weibo fans. He felt like Xiao Yangzi before. But he never thought that he was real Xiao Yangzi. After all, they are the richest man, and Lu Yuan is a rich second generation in his impression. His little money is definitely not enough in Xiao Yangzi's hands. Who knows? After the shock, Ren Jianzhong was confused. Lu Yuan and the richest man are a pair, so what happened to him before? Step on two boats? One or the richest man? Lu Yuan is planning to cuckold the richest man? Or are they an improper relationship? Most likely. The richest man fell in love with Lu Yuan. Lu Yuan didn't like the richest man. While serving the richest man, he chased after the people he liked. It's no wonder that this person who has been fishing for 3 days and drying the net for 2 days, he has a backer. As I was thinking about it, I heard Lu Yuan say, "What do you think? We are in a sealed relationship in the Civil Affairs Bureau." Fuck. The Civil Affairs Bureau stamped the relationship between, then you give the richest man, cuckold? Although not successful. Ren Jianzhong suddenly fell to the 5 bodies that Lu Yuan admired. This is a real boss. Really big guy. All the words of Lu Yuan prepared before were swallowed by Ren Jianzhong, and he couldn't say a word. Apart from admiration, I was also nervous. Particularly nervous, this is the richest man. The richest man living. Thinking about it, Ren Jianzhong stretched out his hand. "Hello, richest man, my name is Ren Jianzhong." He wants to shake hands with the richest man and go back without washing his hands for a week. Just thinking about it, I saw Lu Yuan grabbing the hand that the richest man stretched out to him, and put his own hand on his. He smiled and said, "Hello, brother Ren." Ren Jianzhong. His wife chuckled. Xiao Yangzi also raised her mouth. Ren Jianzhong flushed with anger, and the fierce light in his eyes approached Lu Yuan. Lu Yuan seemed to have not seen it. He took Xiao Yangzi's hand and said to Ren Jianzhong, "I can only hold the hand of my object, brother Ren, don't be a gangster." Ha 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 ha, his wife laughed directly. Ren Jianzhong, shaking off his hand, "What can you hold with your hand?" "I want to hold the hand of the richest man." "Oh, that won't work." After speaking, thinking about his mother letting him cancel the contract, Lu Yuan said again, "Brother Ren, I will go to the company tomorrow, are you there?" His contract is in the hands of Ren Jianzhong. That's fine, I will call you when I come over tomorrow." After bidding farewell to Ren Jianzhong, the two went to the store next door to buy a pair of white shoes for Xiao Yangzi, and then replaced them with Xiao Yangzi's house in Qingjiang Shuiyuan. The author has something to say, do you believe it? I didn't know it was Valentine's Day until the evening. Sorrow from a single dog. I decided to send a few red envelopes to calm my hurt feelings. So, you can leave a message. There are red envelopes in the message today. Single dogs love you. Xiao Yangzi's house is a duplex. Black and white decoration. You can see that it is Xiao Yangzi's style at a glance. The place where the eyes can see on the first floor is a large living room. On the right-hand side of the living room is the open kitchen. Next to the kitchen, there are two closed doors. Next to one of the doors is a staircase. Although the second floor is not visible, it should be the bedroom area. After entering the door, Xiao Yangzi went straight to the second floor. Lu Yuan followed. On the second floor, there is a small living room and 4 rooms outside. Xiao Yangzi pointed to the room at the top of the stairs. You live in this room. The room is usually cleaned. You can clean up a little bit by yourself. The bathroom is in the room and the toiletries are in the bathroom. Good. Lu Yuan said. Open the door. It was the imaginary cold tone. Withdrawing his eyes, Lu Yuan asked him, which is your room? Xiao Yangzi pointed to the next door. After pointing, he said, I still have work to do, I have to deal with it, you can do it yourself. After speaking, he opened a room door. The work is not finished, then you are so early. What do you do after get off work? Having said that, Lu Yuan closed his mouth. Naturally, leaving get off work so early was to go with him to see his parents. This person is really... I see. Go ahead. Lu Yuan said. After speaking, he watched Xiao Yangzi walk into the study wearing the same sweater and jeans as him. Laughed. After putting on casual clothes, Xiao Yangzi looked softer than before. It is also much smaller than before. Even the face, which was always cold, didn't look so cold anymore. After Xiao Yangzi entered the study, Lu Yuan also entered his room. He cleaned up a bit, and then dialed Zhao Xian's number. Angel, what's the matter? Zhao Xian didn't know what he was doing, there was a little noisy around. But Lu Yuan didn't care. He was not verbose at all, and went straight to the subject of his call. Zhao Xian, can you help me process the online and Lazun videos? Zhao Xian's family is an entertainment company and cooperates with many media. He Lazun. Correct. Brother Ang, you finally figured it out. Lu Yuan heard a loud voice. This voice was not Zhao Xian, but Zhuang Feiyu. It seems that the two are together. I told you in Lezun. Zhuang Feiyu was halfway through, and replaced with Zhao Xian. Okay, brethren, I will deal with it tomorrow. Because of Xiao Yangzi's relationship, Lu Yuan has always been the boss of their group. Because of Xiao Yangzi's relationship, everyone gradually alienated him. That is Zhuang Feiyu and Zhao Xian. If Lu Yuan has a problem with them, they will definitely help. But if Lu Yuan didn't find them, they would never find Lu Yuan. Because, in their opinion, Xiao Yangzi is a lunatic, and Lu Yuan cuckolded the lunatic. They were all afraid that Xiao Yangzi was angry that day and the fire would burn them. Therefore, Lu Yuan actually has no good friends now. Some, and all of them come together because of interests. Okay. After Zhao Xian agreed, Lu Yuan said, there's one more thing. Didn't I give you money and tell you to give Lazun resources? Just forget it if you sign the contract. Don't give it if you don't sign the contract. It is good. That's okay, I remember you didn't want my Zenvits 1 GTMA before? Call me when you are free. I will be free tomorrow. After Lu Yuan finished speaking, Zhao Xian said immediately. He had been hot on the car for a long time, but it was a limited edition and he didn't grab it. Okay. Lu Yuan said, I have something in the morning, you come here this afternoon. After hanging up the phone, Lu Yuan went to the bathroom and took a shower. After coming out, he opened the door and took a look, and found that Xiao Yangzi was still working. Suddenly, I remembered the phrase boss works from 8 a.m. until early in the morning. Hesitated, and finally Lu Yuan did nothing. He silently turned back to his room. Start to sleep. The next day, Lu Yuan took advantage of a run outside to buy breakfast. When he returned, Xiao Yangzi was receiving water, and he was obviously taken aback when he saw him coming in. He should have forgotten about his living here. Lu Yuan shook the breakfast in her hand. I bought breakfast and eat it together. The breakfast Lu Yuan bought included Chinese-style buns, fried dough sticks, soy milk and eggs, and Western-style milk sandwiches. Go to the kitchen, take the plate and put the breakfast on the plate. Lu Yuan brought it and put it on the table. There are steamed buns, soy milk fritters, and sandwich milk. What do you want to eat? Anything will do. Xiao Yangzi said, but reached out to the bun. Lu Yuan smiled and pushed the bun in front of him, then peeled an egg and handed it to him. I can do it myself. What are you polite with me? Lu Yuan's hand did not move in the air. Xiao Yangzi glanced at it and reached out to take it. His finger touched Lu Yuan's hand. He took it back quickly. Lu Yuan glanced at him and said, Yangzi, don't be so polite with me. Xiao Yangzi didn't speak, quickly finished breakfast, said I'm going to work and left. After Xiao Yangzi left, Lu Yuan called Ren Jianzhong and made sure that he drove to the company after the company. In the company, Ren Jianzhong has been waiting early. Seeing Lu Yuan, he had a lot of gossip in his heart to ask, but as a professional agent, he held back, pointed to the sofa, sit and asked Lu Yuan, what are you looking for? He didn't think Lu Yuan came to him for work. Lu Yuan has never worked. He used to think that Lu Yuan was not doing his job properly and looked down upon him. Yesterday, Lu Yuan slapped him severely. What right does he have to look down on others? People are already at the end of life, and there is no need to work hard. It's like they have to run for life every day. People are really not comparable. Brother Ren. Lu Yuan sat down and said, I came here today to talk to you about the termination of the contract. You probably also know about my affairs. I used to have some conflicts with Yangzi and did something. Now that we have reconciled, and I can no longer stay in this company. Ren Jianzhong, I really know how to play. But Lu Yuan's contract is not in his hands. Not only Lu Yuan, but also others. Your contract is not in my hands. It is in the hands of Mr. Ning. If you want to terminate the contract, you have to find Mr. Ning. Ning is always the president of the company. As for him, it doesn't matter if Lu Yu's resolves the contract. Anyway, since signing the contract, Lu Yuan hasn't made him 10,000 yuan in total. Now that he knew the identity of Lu Yuan, he didn't even know that he was making money for himself. Speaking of identity, Ren Jianzhong smiled and joked, you kid hides deep enough. This used to be a conflict. Lu Yuan smiled. Ren Jianzhong imagined Xiao Yangzi's ambivalence, only to feel the goosebumps all over his body. The picture is too beautiful to imagine. Finally, Ren Jianzhong said, don't forget your brother Ren when you are developed. Together with Lu Yuan, he went upstairs to find Mr. Ning. As a result, Mr. Ning came to the sentence, you want to cancel the contract? Does Mr. Xiao know? This sentence confuses Lu Yuan and Ren Jianzhong. You mean Xiao always refers to Xiao Yangzi? Ren Jianzhong asked in shock. When did their company catch up with the richest man? In fact, thinking about it carefully, it seems that it is not without a trace. Lu Yuan was so nonsense, but President Ning never said that he wanted to hide him. In the past, there were only a few people in their company. Resources, all others choose the corners and corners. Starting from a certain day, they can receive a supporting role with a name, and then there are 3 males and 3 females, 2 females and 2 males, and the leading role is not obvious. But it has been moving forward step by step. He first thought that when his company's artists became popular, his acting skills were approved by the director. After learning that Li Jun and Zhang Hayek were close, he thought it was Zhang Hayek helping them. It is ridiculous to think about it now. Who knows, the boss behind them turned out to be Xiao Yangzi. Approximately he and the richest man are colleagues. Thinking of this, Ren Jianzhang was instantly excited. Lu Yuan was more surprised than I was his excitement. When is the matter? Don't you know? I thought you knew. President Ning raised his eyebrows. Zindao, it's over, he said he missed it. I don't know. Lu Yuan said. No wonder, the original owner does not make a dime for the company, and the company leadership does not urge it. Lu Yuan took out the phone and called Xiao Yangzi. What are you doing? Go to work. Lu Yuan, all right, let me ask you something, you bought our company. Xiao Yangzi didn't speak for a long time, but Lu Yuan thought that the signal was not good, so he took the phone away and took a look. The signal was full, and then I put it to my ears and heard Xiao Yangzi's voice. Xiao Yangzi's voice was very pleasant. He said, "Yet. Is this over? When did it happen?" "Not long after you signed." "This." Lu Yuan suddenly felt cold. Xiao Yangzi didn't know all the brain-dead things the original owner did he? There is also Xiao Zhang, his assistant. Lu Yuan suddenly thought he was suspicious. The original owner is not good to Xiao Zhang, although he can't punch or kick, but insults are common. Ren Jianzhang told him that Xiao Zhang's salary was 3,005. With such a low salary, the original owner treated him so much and could still insist on not leaving. I am afraid it has something to do with Xiao Yangzi. Lu Yuan became more frightened as she thought about it. The former Xiao Yangzi didn't do anything because of the plot. Now Xiao Yangzi is out of the plot. Before, Lu Yuan thought he had convinced Xiao Yangzi not to divorce. Now that he knows so many things that Xiao Yangzi knows the original owner, Lu Yuan suddenly felt that the reason Xiao Yangzi did not divorce was probably because of his best words to help him block Ying Ying Yan Yan. Xiao Yangzi is the richest man, and he is good-looking. There are always men and women who love him. Xiao Yangzi doesn't like it. The people at the dinner were okay, he was cold-faced and others didn't dare to do anything to him. But those girls from the family. With Lu Yuan as a shield, those girls would have a face and would basically not pester him. The more Lu Yuan thought about it, the more possible it became. Okay, even so, he recognized it. Thinking about it, Lu Yuan said, "Okay, I see, I will come to you at noon." After speaking, hung up the phone. Ren Jianzhang and President Ning looked at each other. Rich people show affection, it's good. He also wants to show off, and also wants to buy his wife's company, and then surprise his wife without telling his wife. This is the case. Lu Yuan said with a smile after hanging up the phone. President Ning, you can't solve it even if you want to. Your contract is not in my hands. Do you want to work if you don't terminate the contract? Mr. Ning asked when Lu Yuan said that he could not terminate the contract. Ren Jianzhang also pricked his ears. This master has never worked, will he work now? Ren Jianzhang was also very curious, but did not report any hope. However, the next second Lu Yuan slapped him in the face, "Is there any good script?" "Yes." Mr. Ning said, "In modern times, idol dramas, criminal investigations, you have whatever you want. Even if it doesn't, I can find it for you. There is no shortage of investment anyway. Okay, you send the script." Sending it to me before finishing talking, Lu Yuan saw Ren Jianzhang who was glaring next to him. "You can send it to Brother Ren and let Brother Ren help me see it." Although Ren Jianzhang's business ability is not top in the entertainment industry, he is also a middle-to-upper person. He may be dissatisfied with the original owner, but he is only dissatisfied. He did not show it, and did not wear small shoes, forcing the original owner to work or something. His character is still yes. Moreover, the most important thing is that he has been influenced by bad scripts for many years. In fact, he can't tell the quality of the script. The world that has collapsed is mostly a world with problems and bugs. These world novels and comics are not very good. Of course, it is not without good, but very few. Reading these scripts every day, he has no aesthetics. Good. Ren Jianzhang's eyes lit up when he heard Lu Yuan's words. I said in my heart, Lu Yuan is still very good, and I must put aside prejudice and treat him well. Leaving Ning's office, and saying goodbye to Ren Jianzhang, Lu Yuan received a call as soon as he left the company. The first sentence was, "Did you cancel the contract?" His mother was very concerned about his termination. But I can understand. On the one hand, his mother wants their husbands to be in harmony, and on the other hand, because Xiao Yangzi is the richest man, if Xiao Yangzi is angry, their family may be over and his mother has to take care of it. No solution. Lu Yuan said, before his mother was murdered, he quickly said, that company was acquired by Yangzi, and it is now Yangzi's company. I might as well stay at Yangzi when I signed Zhao Xian's company. His mother, you're telling the truth, don't you want that little star to lie to me? Lu Yuan, if you don't believe me, call Yangzi. Now that you said that, well, I believe you for the time being, you don't want to deal with moths. Understood. After hanging up the phone, Lu Yuan drove home. While passing the supermarket, Lu Yuan went to the supermarket to buy some vegetables and called Xiao Yangzi at the same time. What do you want to eat at noon? Whatever. Xiao Yangzi said. Before Lu Yuan said that he would send him food, Xiao Yangzi knew what he meant by asking him. I didn't just choose this dish. Lu Yuan held half of the ribs in his hand, shook it, and said with a smile. The eyes are gentle. The girl next to her looked straight, and she grabbed her companion's arm tightly and exclaimed, that little brother is so handsome, so handsome, I can't do it anymore. She laughed so hard, don't know who is calling, that person is so happy. Companion, you are talking about that person, I remember that he seems to be a star. The reputation is particularly bad, he cursed people for playing big-name straw powder bags. Raise. Anyway, a disgusting person. Fuck, it's true, don't scare me, he looks really poke me, how can he have so much black material, the old man's girlish heart. The two little girls screamed and left. Lu Yuan listened to their words. What the little girl said, except for playing big cards, the other original owners really haven't done it. All are released by the protagonist. That is, since Xiao Yangzi has bought his company, why not help the original owner to clarify? However, many things in the virtual world, especially the problematic virtual world, cannot be solved with common sense. Lu Yuan didn't get entangled, and continued the previous topic, and asked Xiao Yangzi, would you like to eat pork ribs? I will make steamed pork ribs. It is good. What else do you want to eat? I want to eat tofu. Before Xiao Yangzi's words finished, Lu Yuan laughed, yes, I will allow you to eat as much as you like in a while. Xiao Yangzi didn't react at first, but when he reacted later, he became angry and hung up the phone. Lu Yuan smiled and put the phone in his pocket, bought 2 caddies of ribs, and bought some vegetables, tofu and steamed rice noodles, and took them home. Lu Yuan's steamed pork ribs was learned in the world a long time ago. It's been a long time, and I can't remember the specific steps clearly. Lu Yuan took out his mobile phone to check the method. It takes a few minutes to chop the meat, prepare the ingredients, and steam it for another 40 minutes. Taking advantage of the time when the ribs were put in the basket, Lu Yuan made another mapo tofu, and made tomato and egg soup after cooking. Not enough time. To make complicated, Xiao Yangzi needs a little bit more for dinner. After preparing the meal, Lu Yuan took to Xiao Yangzi's company, and the front desk girl was as enthusiastic as ever. Go upstairs. The secretary's office was not there. It was estimated that they had gone to dinner. Lu Yuan knocked on the door of Xiao Yangzi's office. After entering, Xiao Yangzi was still working. Eat first, and then be busy after eating. Lu Yuan put the lunch box on the coffee table. Xiao Yangzi turned off the computer and washed his hands. When I was eating, I saw the mapo tofu. Thinking about Xiao Yangzi's want to eat tofu, Lu Yuan couldn't help but smile. It happened to fall into Xiao Yangzi's eyes and followed his gaze. Xiao Yangzi knew what he was thinking at a glance. She pursed her lips and said in a cool voice, "You will get cold if you don't eat any vegetables." "It's May, how can it be so easy to get cold?" However, Lu Yuan didn't poke his face, and said with a smile, "Okay, I just eat and eat." After eating, thinking of Mr. Ning's talk about the acquisition in the morning, Lu Yuan raised his mouth, and found that Xiao Yangzi didn't seem to want to talk very much. He said, "Well, there's not much money, just buy it if it happens to be developed. Other things. One sentence is not mentioned because of him, or the original owner." Since Xiao Yangzi didn't want to talk about it, Lu Yuan didn't bother about it, and drove away from the company after a few more words. Not long after I got home, I received a call from Zhao Xian, "Brother Ang, where have you been? I have no one at your door." Hearing what Zhao Xian said, Lu Yuan suddenly realized that he was now at Xiao Yangzi's house. He said, "Wait a moment, I'll be here soon." I went out. Xiao Yangzi's community is 7 or 8 minutes away by car from Tana community. 10 minutes later, Lu Yuan stood in his community. Zhuang Feiyu also came with Zhao Xian. The relationship between the two is really good, Lu Yuan thought to himself. Then I heard Zhuang Feiyu shouting loudly, "Brethren, where have you been? It's something." Lu Yuan said, "Parked the car in the parking space, go up and sit for a while. I want to test the car." Zhuang Feiyu pouted his lips and said pitifully, "You go try, I have something to do with Zhao Xian." As soon as Lu Yuan finished speaking, he heard Zhuang Feiyu asking gossiping, "Is it Lazun's matter?" "Almost." The three of them went upstairs, and Lu Yuan sat on the sofa. "All food and drink are in the refrigerator, and I take them myself." He was too lazy to entertain them. Zhuang Feiyu took 2 bottles of ice cola and sat on the sofa. "A small bench has been moved. Please tell me." Lu Yuan glanced at him and asked Zhao Xian, "Last time you said you invested in those projects. The original owner had a lot of silly money, and Mr. Ling always gave Zhao Xian nearly 200 million." Lu Yuan guessed that there was someone Xiao Yangzi's money. After all, the original owner is a rich second generation, and he still has no rights. Coupled with his generous spending, it is impossible to have 200 million. Thinking about this, Lu Yuan felt that the original owner was too scumbag. Of course, he was undoubtedly affectionate to Xiao Yangzi scum and Lizun, so affectionate that he knew that Lizun would not care for him, and he knew that Lizun and Zhang He were close. Go in for a return. In fact, from a certain perspective, the original owner is very similar to Xiao Yangzi. It's all good for another person without asking for anything in return. What Xiao Yangzi is stronger than the original owner is that Xiao Yangzi is good to the original owner and did not harm others. The original owner's goodness to Lizun is based on hurting Xiao Yangzi. In particular, he also took the money from Xiao Yangzi and treated Lizun well. I don't know how the author set it up. Although it's a cannon fodder, you can use a little snack anyway. However, after the original owner gave Zhao Xian the money and asked Zhao Xian to leave a place for Lizun, he didn't care much. Of course, even if he manages, he doesn't understand. As for the position, it is not limited to male 1 male 2, and there is no requirement for variety shows, as long as there is fun to go on. At that time, Zhao Xian actually told the original owner of the project he invested in, but the original owner did not take it to heart. Now that Lu Yuan has become him, he naturally has to take care of it. Zhao Xian said, "A variety show has just started preparations, but no one has decided yet. 2 popular novels are adapted from IP, one of which is Lizun is the second male, and the other is a live puppet, the first is a criminal investigation. There is also a movie, the male third who signed by Lizun. In addition to the live show, your company also has investment. Zhao Xian was still saying that Lu Yuan was left with. If he didn't know that Xiao Yangzi was the boss behind their company, he wouldn't think too much. Now that he knows that Xiao Yangzi is the boss behind their company, Lu Yuan only has one sentence left: fuck you. Zhao Xian didn't know what Lu Yuan said in his heart. He was still asking, brethren, are you going to act? Send me the scripts that have no Lazuan, and I'll take a look. Lu Yuan said. Zhao Xian said, okay. In my heart, the richest man is indeed a good way. Lu Yuan chased Lizuan back a few days ago and ran away from behind. He was only married, and within 2 days, even the crew with Lizuan stopped working. Zhao Xian thought in his heart, and Zhuang Feiyu said directly, fuck, you just marry the richest man and you are a good husband, the richest man is so fierce. A look of admiration. Then he was interrupted abruptly by Zhao Xian before he finished worshipping. I'll post when I go back, is there anything else, brethren? Zhuang Feiyu glanced at Zhao Xian bitterly. Zhao Xian was unmoved, pretending not to see it. Lu Yuan probably guessed what Zhao Xian meant, and didn't say anything. He just said about the investment, yes, you two don't tell anyone about my investment. Good. Zhao Xian said, expressing his understanding. Invest in an ex-lover, and let the current object know it, especially if this object is not an ordinary person.